40%. That is the share of Social Security direct deposit fraud that starts with one telephone call. Not a hacked computer, not a stolen card. Somebody picks up a phone, calls the agency, says he is you, and changes the bank account your money lands in. That figure comes from Social Security itself. And what happens after that call is not the same for everybody. For the two people you are about to meet, the ending is opposite. One of them is in real danger this week. The other is being sold a fear that does not touch him at all by videos with hundreds of thousands of views. So today, two people, same street, same bank, same alarming headline on the same phone screen. What is actually true for each one, with the exact policy number on screen so you can check it yourself. And at the end, 3 sentences to say out loud at your bank. Both of these people are composites. Neither one is real. Every number attached to them is real, and the sources are listed under this video. The first is a man, 74 years old. He receives supplemental security income. Most people call it SSI. The second is a woman, 69, who receives an ordinary retirement benefit, the kind you paid into across 40 years of work. To almost everyone, those two look like the same thing. A government payment landing in a bank account on a schedule, same day every month. They are not the same thing at all, and that difference decides everything that follows. Start with the man. SSI is a needs-based program, and that phrase does the whole job. The payment is not based on what you earned, it is based on what you have. So there is a limit. $2,000 in countable resources for one person, $3,000 for a couple. Money sitting in the bank counts toward it. Which raises the obvious question. How would anyone know what is in his account? Social Security runs a system that asks the banks directly. It is not a rumor, it is not new. It has a name and it has a manual section, and both are on screen right now. It is called Access to Financial Institutions. When it runs, it does not check one bank. It sends an electronic request to financial institutions within a radius of his home address. Up to 10 separate geographic searches. And if somebody manages his money for him, it searches around that person's address too. So the credit union account he opened in 1988 and forgot about is not invisible. Now the part that changed. For years, that search only ran if there was some reason to think he had money above a certain amount. That amount was $400, lowered from $750 back in May of 2013. That threshold is gone, not raised, removed. The search now runs on the claim regardless of what anyone suspects. The instruction that did it is Emergency Message 25046, revised. And it is dated April 27th, 2026. And here is the correction I promised you. You may have seen a video saying this takes effect in July of 2026, and that every senior needs to get ready for it. Both halves of that are wrong. For anyone 65 or older, the $0 version has been running since August of 2025. Not this July. Last summer, if it was going to reach you, it already did. 10 months before that video was published. The April revision extended it to blind and disabled claims. That is what actually changed this spring, and that is a different thing entirely. Now the woman, 69 years old, retirement benefit. Here is what applies to her out of everything I just said. None of it. Retirement is not needs-based. Neither is disability insurance. You are not receiving that payment because you are short of money. You are receiving it because you paid in. There is no resource limit on a retirement benefit. There is no asset test. Social Security is not scanning her bank balance, and there is no rule that tells it to. She could have $40,000 in savings, and her monthly amount would not move by a single dollar. Roughly 75 million Americans receive a benefit of some kind, and the large majority of them are in her situation, not his. So when a video tells you a new bank rule is coming for every senior, it is describing a program most of the people watching are not even enrolled in. That is the difference between a video you actually need and a video that frightened you for 9 minutes. So find out which benefit you receive. It is the switch that turns half of the internet on or off for you. Now the part that does reach both of them, and this is where the real exposure lives. The paper check is finished. An executive order signed on March 25, 2025, ended paper checks for federal payments as of September 30th that same year. If you are still waiting on an envelope, that is the reason. And the reason given in the order is a number, not an opinion. A paper check is 16 times more likely to be reported lost or stolen, returned as undeliverable or altered, than an electronic transfer. That is the case they made in writing. But there are exceptions, and nobody covering this seems to mention them. They are written into federal regulation, Title 31, Part 208, Section 4. 3 of them matter to somebody watching. 1. If you were born before May 1st, 1921, and were still receiving a check in March of 2013. 2. If a mental impairment makes it a genuine hardship to manage an electronic account. 3. If you live somewhere remote enough that the infrastructure for electronic transactions is not there. Those waivers are real and they are granted. The office that handles them is the Electronic Payment Solutions Center, and the number is on screen. And if you have no bank account at all, the government issues a card instead. About 3.8 million people are paid that way. Here is what is happening to that card right now, and I have not found one video that mentions it. The bank that runs the whole program is changing. A new bank took over new enrollments in May of this year. Existing accounts move over later this year or early next, and replacement cards go out by mail into next year. Now set that beside the 40% from the opening. For the next 18 months, millions of older Americans are expecting an unfamiliar card from a bank they have never heard of. So write this down. You get a written notice before anything moves. You keep using the card you have until it expires. And nobody legitimate is going to telephone you to activate anything. If that call comes, the call is the fraud. Now the mechanic almost nobody gets right, and it is the reason I made this video. Suppose the account your deposit goes to is closed. The bank merged. A family member closed it. What most people believe is that the payment gets delayed a week and then a check shows up. That is not what the Treasury's own manual says. When a payment is returned, the return automatically revokes your direct deposit authorization. Read that again. Not delayed, revoked. The arrangement itself is canceled, and future payments can stop. Nobody telephones you to tell you, and restarting it is on you. You have to contact the agency and set the whole thing up again from the beginning. One more from that same manual, and this one works in your favor. If a bank decides to close an account that receives federal benefits, it owes you 30 days of written notice first. The exception is fraud. If it suspects fraud, it can close the account immediately. One last piece, and it explains that opening number. Until April of 2025, Changing the bank account on your benefit could take up to 30 days. It now takes 1 business day because the account gets verified electronically. That is better for you. It is also better for whoever is pretending to be you. So here is what to do. 3 things this week. 1. Call and ask which benefit you receive, not the amount. The name of the program, SSI, retirement or disability. Ask them to say it out loud and write it down. 2. Ask for the direct deposit fraud prevention block by that name. It stops changes to where your money goes, and it is not the same as blocking your online account. So ask for it specifically. 3. Confirm the mailing address on file is the one you actually live at. Every notice in this video arrives by mail before anything happens. So if a card or letter shows up that you were not warned about in writing first, call the agency yourself using a number you looked up. Never a number that somebody gave you. Every figure here was checked against the official source, and those sources are listed below. Rules change. Confirm your own situation. If this made you think of someone who is about to get a card in the mail, send it to them today. That is the one thing that actually helps. And if this was useful, hit the like button and subscribe. One question for the comments. Do you know which benefit you receive? SSI retirement or disability? Just the name. I read them. New breakdowns for American seniors every Tuesday and Friday. This is the last dollar. Make yours count.